Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bādarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Sakhana Vavatu Sakhanau Bhunaktu Sakhaviryan Karavavakai We can say, what is self-evident is yourself. There is nothing else self-evident. What is self-evident is the self, is oneself. Yourself. And everything else becomes evident to the self. We are now teaching about something we are supposed to be ignorant of, and we are supposed to know about it, dropping this ignorance. And that subject matter is not a matter of to be known. It is the only thing to which everything becomes evident. It's not an object that is going to become an evident to you, nor it is going to become evident to the self as an object. Self is the subject, self is the object. How? And therefore, it doesn't need to be an object. The word we use the word Siddhaha, Prasiddhaha. These are all beautiful words. What becomes evident is called Siddhaha. Or Prasiddhaha. There is an object, there is black hole. When you say there is black hole is you have, yes, certain evidence. So this evidence, that which is the means for you to say there is black hole, for you to say you should know what is black hole, that it is there, you have a certain understanding. If you have understanding, having read that it is dense matter and all that, even light doesn't come back. It's a kabanda. Ramayana kabanda. It just swallows everything. It's a kabanda. Black hole is amazing, it is. You can't go anywhere near. Yad gatva na nivartate. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Nema vidyuto bhanti kutoya magni. Sun, moon, stars, all of them will be swallowed. No trace. No trace. Amazing. Even to read about that, it's so beautiful to imagine what kind of density of that matter. How do you know it exists? We have all this information gathered by people who count, who are in the know of things, in whose words we try to understand. And we trust what you don't understand in good faith. You accept there is asti. This is a beautiful word. Asti, black hole. You are a black hole astika. Now you understand what is astik and nastik. The one who says asti is an astika. He's not a theist or an atheist. That is a different thing. Theist is someone who accepts a God theo. And generally the theist is, the atheist is a thinker, and atheist is a refuser, the one who refuses to think. And therefore, this theist, he doesn't impress me. Atheist, of course, has got a problem. Because he has already decided what is God, which he doesn't accept. He doesn't even understand his own thinking. He is another baseless believer. He believes in a God and then he dismisses that God without understanding what is God. The question should be, what is God? And there is no question of belief or non-belief if I say this. What is God? Mandu. This what is God. One fellow says, I believe in it. What is God. And therefore, generally, to say a given thing is, the thing has to become directly prasiddha or indirectly prasiddha. Note the word prasiddha. Siddha or prasiddha as the same meaning. Siddha and prasiddha. How does it become prasiddha? Black hole, astika you have become. Because black hole is prasiddha. Because you have a pramana. You have a certain means of arriving at that. It's all inference. And therefore, indirectly, you have come to accept the existence of black hole. Means you have come to accept by indirect knowledge. Indirectly means by indirect knowledge, by means of some inference or certain trust, faith. In the words of the scientists, therefore you can be an astika, black hole astika. In other words, you can never say a thing exists asti without becoming evident to you, without the thing becoming evident to you. That's a setup, a good setup. I have a very good foundation now. Then, the self is to say, self is, when you say, you are saying, I am, correct? I am. There is no पूछ के बताऊं. I am. I've been using this पूछ के बताऊं for a long time, and now in India, in some commercial, they are using the same thing. पूछ के बताओ. I deserve a royalty for that. It's my creation. For you to say, I am, you don't need to make any reference. To say, I think, therefore I am. I don't think, therefore I must be existing. Whether I think or I don't think, I am. The Upaniṣad tells this. So thinking, of course you are. Whatever you think about becomes evident to you, directly or indirectly. Directly it becomes evident if there are senses involved. Indirectly, the thing becomes evident if there is certain rational thinking involved. Every medical diagnosis is indirectly arrived at. The patient has pain in his joints. It is his experience. But the doctor doesn't see the pain. You go by the words of the patient. Patient will tell a lot of other things also. Day for yesterday, my brother-in-law came, I developed a joint pain. So this... He may say so many things. You have to listen to them nicely. Then only you are a good doctor. After listening, these irrelevant things are too many things. Don't say they are irrelevant. Take the relevant things. Doctor in India is different from the same doctor coming here is different. In India, he won't talk because the patient will come and tell all kinds of things. And he will say, then you give some medicine. Then he will ask, what is my problem? Saripotundi. Everything will be all right, please keep taking this. It's all mandate. And in those days they used to give mixtures. And then there is the compounder, and he will mix up all those things and then give some peppermint and this and that. And he will write, the doctor will write. When the doctor writes, if you take this to the chemist, and that fellow cannot read. Nobody can read. And the compounder also cannot read. But he will give the mixture to you because he knows this doctor will give this mixture alone. He will only see the name of the doctor and he knows that this doctor gives what mixture. You get all right. Our population is increasing. That is a good inference, you know. One series of inferences, not one inference. There is not one medication you can give to a patient without inference. The whole thing is inference. And there are some fellows, these are some of these fellows are good, and many of them they bluff. They will see your nadi. Early morning, getting up your nadi, they will see. There is some problem in your marriage. You will tell him. And that man will say, yes, yes, yes. These are all some safe statements, you know. You can't go wrong. Bluff. Say, Ayurveda is not only inference, it is just an assumption. That's it. It works. Sometimes it works. Any discipline of remedies or treatment, it's all inference. Amazing. Inference without basis also. Because you create a certain framework of beliefs, assumptions, and then make inferences on the basis of that framework. The system itself is defective. But works. Things work, that's all what we need. Therefore, what I say, anything is only either by a direct means of knowledge or through indirect means of knowledge. Anything is to you. That's important. To you. And you remain the only person who is invariable in all situations. Pleasant, unpleasant, direct perception or indirect knowledge, in all of them, you are always present. Samanaha, ever present. So the things that become evident to you are many and varied. And what is self-evident is just you. Any conclusion about that self is unwarranted. Correct? Correct. Unwarranted. Why? Because what kind of conclusion you have about yourself? Who are you? I ask a very simple question. Who are you? Answer is very difficult. Who are you? Up to I am, answer is safe. Safe answer. I am. Now I am waiting. When you say I am, yes, I am waiting. Please tell me, who are you? You are. I am. Correct. Who are you in this? You are. Yes, I am. And who is this you? Who is this I? Now starts everything. I am. Then I am, you have a big list of things. You give me a card. The other day I received a card. one card. It is a card. You gave me a card. Yeah, it's a nice card. You just give a card means you have a description about you, who you are. First the name, the first name, second name, then letters, then certain letters. Means you are a member of some club or something. So whatever some letters are there. India they will do. MBBS. That is title he has earned, poor fellow. Then afterwards he will say some EC or FLM. That he is a member of some association. That's all that he will write. Then the village folk will understand he is highly qualified. That is name. I am the qualification, whatever. Then something more I want to know. Then the background. In matrimonial columns you get all this clear background. Parentage, some gotram, certain other additional information, mother tongue, look at this. And age, date of birth. There is a horoscope. Therefore, let us start. I am someone who was born on this particular day, at this particular time, at this particular place, to these parents, and since then I have been around. I've been around. Some more information. I went to this school, I went to this college, I went to this what you call this special training center, and this special qualification, I have got this kind of a job. And this is what I am doing now. I am married and settled. Settled means what? After the break of marriage, settlement, both. All about you. Blood group. All about you. And social security number. And everything, the whole profile is available. Your credit worthiness, credibility, everything, all about you. It's wonderful. Listen, just very careful. It's wonderful because you have a niche in the scheme of things, in the universe. You are an entity with an individuality. You have carved for yourself a slot to be in, and you are in. Like others are. One among many. Many on this planet. Many include also other forms of life. And there are things which are not breathing, like rocks. So they are also part of your scheme. And forces, laws, means, ends, all of them constitute the scheme, a brilliant scheme, a vast scheme. This planet we are talking, little look up, then you find yourself just going around the sun like nobody's business. So you are going around the sun, you are just turning around yourself, the whole earth, and then moving around. You are set in motion. You are set in motion. The whole thing is set in motion. This is real merry-go-round. The whole earth is moving merry-go-round. It turns itself and goes around. This is the truth about you, the individual, the entity. As it is going around, sitting in a moving restaurant, you talk to somebody and constantly and pick up a quarrel also. But the whole thing is changing. This is the constancy, which is not true. But that it be so. But there are other planets. There are other systems, solar systems. Every star is a sun. And therefore you find your radius, because you are the only center. Everything becomes evident to you. What becomes evident to you is all changing. Is all changing. The solar system is changing. The sun, first these planets are all going around the sun. The sun seems to be the central one who doesn't move. Forget it. And you are a parivar moving along with the sun. The sun is in the center. And therefore sun is also moving and along the parivar is moving along with the sun. Amazing. Everything is moving. It's just amazing motion. Grand scale motion. It's just this moving, then if you just look at from different points of the radius, look at, you find there are things and things in motion, and you are the center of this universe. You are the center, self-evident. Everything becomes evident to you. And what becomes evident is always what? Changing. Is always changing. Therefore, can you say, who am I to this question? Who are you to this question? Can you give an answer that I can take it and keep it as a clean definition? Tell me. One fellow, this children, when you talk to this, the Indian children growing up here, and then you ask, write about you. No, just tell about you. I am this so and so, and then the person will tell. Then next one. I am in my 6th grade, and I like this musician. Some musician, some music. They will tell. Can I note down that as a permanent thing? In other words, I like this. Can I take you as a liker? Then what about that? Oh, that I hate. Then can I take you as a disliker? Can I take you as a disliker of this? No. Yeah, you disliked before. What happened to you? Now you like? It was then at that time I disliked. Now you like? Yes, now I like. What about what you liked before? Oh, that's too stale now. Grown. Like? You used to like a hairstyle before. What happened to that? It was very nice. Was it nice? Yes. But I thought it was not good. What does it mean? Somebody comes and tells, you had a hairstyle before, it was nice. Means what? Why do you have this kind of hairstyle? Some people say this kind of thing because they don't have social skills. And therefore, what I say, now, can I take you as a liker? Can I take you as a disliker? Can I take you as knowledgeable person? Can I take you as ignorant person? What kind of definition you can give? Always with reference to something you are pointing out yourself. The reference point also is changing. And whatever you say that you are also is changing. Amazing. And I expect me to take you seriously after giving me the card. We would like to take you seriously. But the more I become serious, the more I come to discover I can't take any of this as really a feature, an embellishing feature of the self, you. One thing. Another thing is, what you say that you are is also evident to you. Correct? Is also evident to you. Evident to the self. You talk about your body, suppose I am of this weight. I am of this weight. I weigh, clear. I weigh 170 pounds. So 170 pounds I weigh. So I, Atma, is equal to 170 pounds. This is the meaning of the sentence. This is a key. I am 170 pounds. I protest. I say, how can you say that I was 170 pounds? I weighed it. You weighed? I weighed. I weighed it. You weighed what? You weighed what? You said I am 170 pounds and you say I am weighed it. So it means what? It? No, I weighed myself. Hey, you weigh yourself? Yeah, you weigh myself. How? I stepped on the weighing machine and then that showed me 170. Another inference. Of course, it is showing 170, therefore I must be 170. That's me. Little more. I am 5 feet 8 inches. This is a little more. Are you sure I am 5 feet 8 inches? When did you measure? 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, 2 years you can lose of an inch, you know. No. Height doesn't really go away. Only width increases. So this is the... Therefore looks as though I am shorter, but I am the same. Don't take it for granted, okay? Weigh again. Weigh again. That's why whenever you go to a doctor, third time you go, then they will weigh you. They will weigh you, they will measure you also. Because how to make you weight. So these are all methods of irrelevant things. You have got some ear pain, you are going to ENT and he will measure your height, measure your weight. பொல்லாத பசங்க. You weigh yourself? You measure yourself? No, really speaking, I weigh my body. That is the it. But you say I am. You see, the body has no complex. That's why it just goes on a story, like a bag woman. You know this bag woman in the street, what do you call the bag woman? Yeah. And she will collect all these things and then keep it. She got a cart and then that is her treasure. And she goes on collecting and keeping it there. And similarly this body. Little bit here, little bit there. And then from the donut, from the vadai. And keep on, gleaning out of all these things some fat for the eventual bad day, It's just keep it. Because it has no complex. Body doesn't have a complex. And this body is evident to you. Yes, it's evident to me. Then who has the complex? Who has the complex? Complex doesn't exist nowhere else except I. Where there is I am, there is the complex. Angadaya Vambu. There alone is all the problem. I am centered on I is your complex, your complexity, and then your sorrow, your sadness, your depression, every blessed thing is centered on I. What is this I? Self-evident, which has nothing to do with what is evident to it. It has nothing to do with what is evident to it. If it has something to do with it, we have to know what it has got to do with it. That's a relationship. That we need to find out. And before that, one thing is clear, has got to be clear. And that is, everything is evident to the self. Without a body weight, you can't say, I am heavy. And without body weight becoming evident to you, you can't know anything about the weight. The weight is, the body is weighing so many pounds, evident to you, prasiddha. But the problem is, body doesn't have an issue of overweight. It doesn't have an issue at all. Means issue of complex, it doesn't have. Body doesn't have. I am Jyoti. Atma is Jyotish-swarupaha. It's self-evident, self-revealing. And everything else becomes evident to it, including the body, which gives you a selfhood. The known selfhood, the individuality. The body gives you an individuality, the mind, senses, everything, all your knowledge, your memories, your past, everything becomes an important feature of your individuality, and the whole individuality becomes evident to you. All the complexes are based upon this individuality. Remove the parentage, all your class complex will go. And don't look at yourself through prana. Your all health complex, all your health problems, all will go. Don't look at yourself, the body, as which is evident to you, as the basis of judgment. Then your conclusion that I am a mortal born at a given time, that also will go. So it's not simple. We are complex. Human beings are complex. And the human being is endowed with the faculty of viveka, thinking, seeing. And one has to see this paradox. Not in a paradox, this anomaly, this mistake of taking oneself to be what becomes evident to one. Being affected by what you witness is one thing. We will look into that in next talk. Being affected, you witness something which is tragic, you get affected. That is one thing. But you are the very event is wrong. If the body becomes evident to you, and you don't like this body, I don't like this body. But then who is saying I don't like this body? Whether the self? No, I say. I means what? Me. No, who is this me? This is my body. Even that fellow is evident to you. Even that person is evident to you. We are talking of that self. How the self to which all these become evident, your individuality becomes evident. Look at it as a whole entity, or severally look at it. Look at yourself, the self, from the standpoint of every feature in your individuality. And every feature is limited. Every feature is limited. Your individuality includes also extended family, etc. Everything is wanting. No particular feature can be limitless. If it is limitless, it won't be a feature. It has got to be limited. And therefore, severally look at yourself from the standpoint of each given feature. It's going to be limited, which becomes evident to the self. Therefore, the Upanishad has a commitment to tell you that this vision, the answer to the question, who am I, whatever you have answered, even though it has some unique features, in spite of unique features, there is samanya, there is universal. The universal is the one that makes you small, insignificant, and wanting. Therefore, first it separates the self as Jyotish Swarupaha. And everything comes to light. Everything becomes prasiddha to the self. And the self is swata prasiddha, swaprasiddha, swatasiddha, self-evident. And therefore it is in the form of light of consciousness. Let me use the word consciousness here. The light of consciousness, in the form of consciousness, which is free from any type of, any feature obtaining in the individuality. Any feature, individual. Then, on the same score, any feature in the scheme of things also. In the scheme of things, the individual exists. Any feature, including motion. Understand? Including motion. The main feature in the scheme of things is motion. It is amazing motion. It's one continuous movement, continuous motion. everything is spinning. Is all evident to the self. Free from motion, free from movement. Therefore, we can say it is the only thing that you can talk about without being wrong. The only thing you can talk about without committing a mistake, without changing. If you are a liker, the same what you liked, you are not always the liker. You are the disliker too. Any one thing is never definite, cannot be definite. That it is not definite is the most definite thing. The only thing that you can really talk about it and then unfold it, keep talking about it without changing. The rishis talked about it. All the acharyas later for generations talked about it. And we can always talk about it, and the future generations can talk about it without undergoing any change. Because the subject matter doesn't undergo change. It is unlike everything else. Change is not its feature. The changelessness is its nature. It was light before, it is light now, it will be light later. When I see it is light, I am light of consciousness. When I hear, I am light of consciousness. When I pick up a smell or taste or touch, I am light of consciousness. When there is an emotion of love or hatred, the light doesn't change. I am the same light of consciousness. When there is hunger or thirst, I am a light of consciousness, because of which hunger and thirst become evident. Emotions become evident. When I have a particular memory recollected, I am still the light of consciousness, lighting up the memory. When I do, when I speak, when I don't speak, when I think, when I don't think, I am light of consciousness. When I am awake, going about as one state of experience, I am light of consciousness. The Upaniṣad tells, when I go to dream, I am the same light of consciousness. When I sleep, of course I am the light of consciousness. So the light of consciousness doesn't wake up. Whoever slept wakes up. Whoever dreamt wakes up. At least he thinks he has woken up. Therefore, in and through the waking, dream and deep sleep, there is one light of consciousness. Through my various forms of perception, many and varied, I am the same light of consciousness. where is the room for a complex? Where is the room for any conclusion? There is no room for any conclusion. In this, who is superior, who is inferior? And this light of consciousness and the object of light of consciousness, this duality also is to be properly understood. The Upaniṣad addresses this. Having said this much, the so-called object of consciousness also is like the black hole. This consciousness will swallow. How? We will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.